Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday and the fourth day of our Wishup's webinar program. Today, we have Shashidhar Sharma and myself who would be taking you through automation by Zapier, which is a very important topic. And just interestingly, about 3 years ago, me and Shashi met over an automation task on, I think it was Jot form. So it was only destined that we did this session together. So let's get started and we'll go through the different automations and to this exciting world of Zapier. Over to you, Shashi. Please start over and share your screen.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. So, yes, since I've started my VA journey, Zapier has been a very important tool for me, be it when I was working as a VA with my client, automating his daily tasks, or after I became a VA manager. Zapier just makes everything so much easier, and the automation, options are just limitless, right? So I'll move on to the next one. So we've got a very great session planned for you guys today, right? We're going to walk you through what Zapier is, what is automation in Zapier, how it works. We're going to show you a couple of Zaps. Next, we're also going to show you paths and filters and delays. And at the end, Shay is going to touch on some extras that we have, and I'll be introducing Zapier AI capabilities to you guys, right? Okay. So, what is automation? So, whenever we hear the word automation, it always, I mean, I get that matrix theme with the green text going and, is something very complicated. But it's super simple. It's nothing but letting technology do the work for you, right? By automating tasks, you are saving countless man hours, which would have been, utilized into, let's say, saving something from your email to your G Drive. Let's say every time a form is submitted, updating that manually on your CRM or your personal notes. Let's say you make some changes on Notion and you have to get the same replicated on your CRM. So it acts as a bridge between these two people, these two tools, right? And when we talk of Zapier, it consists of triggers and actions. So trigger is something which will be the the starting point of your automation, right? As soon as a trigger is hit, it starts the series of automation and pathways, and the action or the event is done. That is, let's say you an email comes into your inbox and you want to save the attachment to your Google Drive. The email hitting your inbox is going to be a trigger. Attachment getting attached to Google Drive is going to be the event, right? Now, Zapier has these tools over here. First, we're going to cover Zaps. The second thing that we're going to cover are the paths, right? Third thing are filters. Then Shay is going to take you through delays. How do we make a Zap, and what exactly are the functionalities of a delay, and then we're going to touch on AI. So, how does a Zap work, right? I've just narrowed down everything to 6 simple steps, and I'll just walk you through all of them. So, first one is connecting your applications. It's super important for us to connect the applications. It's super easy. Whenever you set up a Zap, whenever you're setting up a trigger, it's going to ask you for app access. You just give it to it, and it gets connected, right? The second step is creating a Zap and setting up a trigger. So once you're done with setting up a trigger, you set up an action. What exactly do you want to achieve by running this automation, right? So step 1 to 4 are very crucial, but the most important step that we have here is step number 5, which is testing the automation. Uh, why is it so important? Is because before you can actually publish or deploy this app in a real world scenario, you want to enter a lot of text, do a lot of testing on it, right? Let's say you've created a form and it has a phone number section. What if somebody presses O instead of a zero, or if there's a special character added, like let's say +1? Would the Zap run in that case? If it does not run, then you change the input method on the form, right? Or you alter the Zap that way. So testing it is one of the main things. So always do countless tests, do multiple things, enter multiple type of data in a particular field, and once you're confident with it, then you publish the Zap, right? But again, let's say everything is done and the Zap stops. The automation does not run. You do not need to worry. As soon as automation is stopped, or the workflow is broken, You'll receive an email on the registered email, and it's actually going to show you where the particular automation stopped and how to tackle it, right? With the AI and the support section, this is customer service section of Zapier, you can tackle all the problems easily. Now, what are Zaps? I've already told you it's trigger and action. Let me show you an actual Zap here, right? So what you do is when you go to the home screen on Zapier, you click on create, you click on new Zap, that it will up. Yeah. So you see, that's the trigger which will start your automation, and there's an action which will actually make, which will achieve what you want to. So to show you guys an example, I have a form. So the first set of automation that I'm going to take you through is, it's a very simple one, right? Whenever let's say I fill up this form, I want the jot form to automatically update my ClickUp and update all the comments that I have on that form, right? So let's start over here. Let's say John Doe, right? DOE. Move to next one. Valid phone number 090. That's it. Okay. You go next. Next. So you select, let's say, make a news app. Help me connect my calendar to, say, right? Submit. So the form has been submitted, right? Now, what have I done on this one? Here's the minute. While it loads, I'll just quickly introduce this Zapier to you. So first, we've selected jot form over here in case of the app, right? When you click on the trigger, it brings this window. You have to select jot form over here. As you can see, is the first option, right? When I select it, it'll automatically open this window on the side, and I have to do things. So on jot form, I want the event that I require is a new submission, right? I continue. I connect my account. That's the trigger. So whenever a Zapier form is, so name of my form was Zapier form, right? Whenever a new Zapier form is submitted, I want my trigger to get activated, correct? Let's go here. Let's find a new record. So guys, this is the section of test that I was saying, right? Always test it. Let's go with the selected record. Okay, now we come to ClickUp. So when you click on add a step, you'll automatically, you see, choose action. Over here, you have to choose ClickUp, right? Once you do that, let me delete this one. Yeah. Once you do that, it's again going to, take you through the first thing. So the thing that I want is a task to be created on my ClickUp board. Go here, I connect my ClickUp account. Now that's the action. So if you see, Zapier is nothing but you mapping out whatever you have on jot form to ClickUp board, right? So first of all, I want Shay's workspace on my ClickUp, right? If I go to my ClickUp, so you see this is Shay Nugu's workspace, and my the place where I want is jot form submissions. If you see, the John Doe entry is already here. We just did it a couple of minutes ago, right? So yeah. Then you go to list. On these lists, you have to find jot form, which was my original list over here. If you see, right? Once I have it, I select jot form submissions, and yeah. So here you can name your task. So let's focus on this one. What this is, it automatically autofills the data from jot form. How do I want this task to be named? So my naming convention is name of the person who submitted it, and I also want the idea that he put in. Let's say he chose the option of making a news app, right? So my thing is going to show up as John Doe underscore make a news app. So that's what it is. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Then over here in the task description section, I have mapped the email, phone number, and service required. Everything is found over here. These are nothing but the options that you've put on your jot form, right? If I close the preview, so if you see, how can we help you? And Zap details, right? This is what is popping up over here. So you just have to select all the data from here, map the email to the email, phone numbers. So how it makes convenient and easy for you is it's going to show you something like this, which is highlighted in a very light gray color, right? So once you have done with the mapping, you go down. Start date, it's very important for task and ClickUp. You click on continue and then retest it. As I said, it's always super important to test your steps, right? If there was an error, it'll show me here, this blue thing is going to turn to red and it's going to tell me that there's an error, something did not happen correct. But as you can see, a task was sent to ClickUp about 5 seconds ago. Let's go to ClickUp and see this one, right? When I open it, yeah, I have the description over here. Service required, help me connect my calendar to ClickUp, right? So this is one kind. Another one that I'm going to take you through is Trello, right? We're going to do the same thing. We are going to mark Trello over here in our trigger, connect the account and choose card move to list. So what I want to achieve is, if you see, I have this Trello board setup, right? I have work in progress, rework, and done. So every time any card is moved from work in progress to rework or rework to done, I want that detail to pop up and save it on my Google Drive, right? And I want the presentation or the attachment that is there. So in this case, it's the Zapier PPT that we're currently showing you, and I wanted to also name it in a certain way, right? So I choose the event card move to a list. I continue. Again, pretty easy to connect your account, and then you go to the trigger. So trigger, you select list, the list that you want is done. So anytime, and the card would be any card. So any card that will be moved from work in progress or rework to done, this automation is going to work, and everything is going to be saved on a Google folder. I click continue, find new records. Let's say, let's move it, right? This webinar PPT over here. Okay. Now let's click on find new records. So what this does is it also gives you the latest, movement that's happened on your Trello card. So it might take, so yeah, I moved that on done. So it gives me list edge. Can continue with the selected record. Yeah. Now we come to Google, right? So what I want is I want to upload the file, right? I continue, I connect my account, and you have it. Now it's just mapping the drives. I will select my Google Drive over here. I've already made a folder which is called Zapier Webinar, so I've mapped it over here. The file, right? When I click on, if you see card attachment, you just need to search for that particular, option over here. See card attachment. Once you have that done, you move down and you rename the file. Remember, I said I want to rename the file in a particular manner. So the board name and the card name, right? I go to the next one, continue, and I retest this step. Sending a file to Google Drive. It's going to do its magic. Yeah. The file was sent to Google Drive about 0 seconds ago. Let's go to my Google Drive and see. See, here it is. Zapier webinar, final draft for Zapier PPT. Right? That's the PPT that we are viewing right now. So that's for the simple Zaps, right? Next up, what I'm going to take you through is, give me a moment, paths, right? So what do we mean by paths on Zapier? The automations are not always going to be super simple, wherein you just have to connect one app to the other. You select the trigger and the event and it's done, right? Sometimes there might be some complicated automations that you want to take place, right? For example, let's say I receive an email with an attachment and I want this attachment to be saved on my drive, right? But I want this, I want only attachments from a particular email that I received, right? Let's say if Shay sends me an email, I want to save all the attachments from email that I received from Shay on my drive, right? That's going to be part one. The second one is if I receive an email from, let's say, another one of my colleagues, I wanted to, generate a Slack message for me. And over here, I put a word which says if the subject is urgent, shoot a message on my Slack right then and there, right? So you're going to see how I've created this one, right? So what you've done is, again, you go here, you connect your Gmail, and your trigger is going to be new attachment, right? You click on continue, you connect your account, you have to go to the inbox as soon as something hits your inbox, and then you click on test, right? Again, you can find a new record. Since I've already done this, you can continue with the selected record. Now, how do you get the path over here? A very simple step. Do you see this path? I just have to click on this and it's going to, create two paths for me. So since I've already created it, here's the, give me this. Yeah. Okay, so path. Let's go to path A, right? Let's click on this. Now, when you have paths, you set certain rules, right? I've selected only continue if, and I've also added an and option, right? So the first option is I have to map this with attachment, right? Once I map it with the attachment, I have to click on exists. So what this does is it's only going to take an email which has an attachment and it satisfies the condition that means exist, right? And the mandatory is the from part of the email, I mean the sender should exactly match Shay. I've added his email over here, right? And you continue. Now, if these conditions are met, I wanted to go to upload the file on my Google Drive, right? Simple. You connect your Google Drive over here, you click on upload file, go to the next one, and here's the action, right? So what I've done is I have the Zapier webinar folder, the same one that we connected previously. I have the file attachment on Gmail. Again, you're going to have to search for attachment. It can be super easy if you write here. Attachment is going to pop up right on the first option, right? After this, we are going to go on the file name. So again, you have all the option to name the files. Let's say if you want to, put a default thing over here, you can write Shay underscore this, right? So every time a file is uploaded on your Google Drive, it's going to start with Shay, that's the base, underscore attachment file name, then the date it was sent to you, and the person who sent it to you, right? So in this case, I want my file to be named like this, right? And then you continue and you retest, right? Now this is going to create a file a file was sent to Google Drive about 3 seconds ago. So the same file, right? If you see here, this one. Now I'll take you through another one, which is called the if feature. Now, what is if feature? As you remember, on this path, we chose this one, only continue if, right? So what path has it? Path always gives you two options, right? You have to put path A and path B. But if just makes it streamlined, let's say you don't want a path, but you want something to happen when a condition is met, right? So that's how the first thing that we do here is I connect my calendar, right? I just go with this one, then the if condition. So you have to how you can get this is filter. That's it, and it's going to pop up everything for you here, right? Since I've already set this, let me go to this one. So you've chosen filter, then you go to the setup, right? Now, what do I want? Only continue if the summary of a Google event exactly matches discussion, or the summary text contains feedback, right? You can change it to exactly matches too, correct? Now let's go here, continue. So since I do not have any mail in the past 24 hours that is matching this, it's going to show me that your app would not have continued for this test data, right? Then you go continue. Now what do I want? I wanted Slack message, sends a direct message. Connect your Slack over here, click on select direct message. So it's not just one option that you have. You have a plethora of options over here, right? You can automatically add a reminder on Slack. You can create a channel, create a private channel. You can send a channel message and direct message, the one that I've selected here. I'm going to continue this. You can connect your Slack, and that's how I want my message to look. So over here, I've chosen my name, right? It's going to show up all the people who are in my workspace. Chosen my name, so it's going to show on my Slack Zapier bot. And this is how I want my message to look. It's going to have the title of the meeting. It's going to give me the time and its beginning. It's going to give me an agenda. This is if there's a description on the Google Meet that has been created, it's going to pop up right here. And then I want the Gmeet link. So because of this automation, I'm saving tons of time. I don't have to go click on my calendar, search for that. No, I can just click on this link and get to the call anytime I want. Then you continue this one and retest that, right? Yeah. So we here, if I have to show you, I can show Zapier bot, right? So this is what we just achieved. 2023 discussion call. This was the time, and I have the Gmeet link over here, right? Yeah, and then you just click on publish. It's going to publish the Zap for you. So, yep, that's what the paths and filters are. Now I would pass the baton to Shay. Shay is going to take us through a very important feature on Zapier, which is called delay. So over to you, Shay.
Thank you so much, Shashi. Now, that was definitely a deja vu when you were showing the jot form automation, because that is exactly what we did 3 years ago, and that's how we started
Yeah,
learning Zapier. Yeah. That actually shows that
definitely.
Zapier has been there in the market for such a long time and it still exists. So that is one of the things that I want to talk about. Let me share my screen, first of all, and go through a few topics and a live demonstration of delay paths, filters, Zapier AI, as well as some extras. So we'll talk about point four, which is paths, filters, and delays. Shashi has already shown you the first two. He has demonstrated that. I'll show you the delay part. Then we'll talk about Zapier AI, and there are 5 or 6 AI automations that Zapier has come across, and some extras that I'll be showing you. I'll keep the interesting, the best part of Zapier AI to Shashi, and he'll do that at the last. So wait for it, and you'll be also very happy about that integration that they have come up with. So let's go and check what is called as delay. Now, this is something that I've set up on my screen already. Why would you actually use a delay? Now, when you want the automation to not occur ASAP or in real life time or in the next few seconds, in the next few minutes, whenever your trigger happens, that's when you delay it. It can be delayed up till a certain date. It can be delayed for a few hours, or it can be delayed based on some action that you want to make. I'll give you an example that I do as a manager at Wishup, because we come across so many leave requests. What we get at Wishup is, let's say, an example where someone sends a leave request, and usually that subject line has something called leave request. So that's why I put a filter here, first of all, saying when I get an incoming Gmail in my Wishup Gmail, if the subject line exactly matches the word leave, which it does whenever we get any leave request, the subject line has the word leave. So I have put that as a filter. Now, as a manager at any organization or at Wishup, because it is always calculated, the month is calculated from the first of the month to the 31st of the month or the 30th of the month, where the leaves are calculated. It's always calendar wise. As a manager, we always check, approve, reject, or put on hold on the last day. And so that's why what I've done is I have used the third option, because that's what matters to me. I will set that up for let's say Slack, to remind me on the 31st of May. It's in MMDDYYYY format, and I've set it up at 12:45 a.m. IST because that's the working hours that I work for, and that's when I want a reminder, and that's when I set it up. So what it does is it will send a direct message on Slack on that day saying that you need to go and check your leaves and approve it, reject it, or put on hold or action on it. So that's a real life example of what I would do on a Zap, on a delay. I also want to quickly show you a filter, a real life example. Shashi has already shown you how it works. At Wishup, um, if I get an email, I've set up a filter which says any subject line that matches with the word urgent. What should happen with that? I should get a Slack message. So that's when I use the filter. And let me quickly send an email to myself and see if that works. I'll just put something in the subject line and click on send. And it takes a bit of a delay. So we'll see how I get a Slack message saying that something is urgent. Now, while that's incoming, I also wanted to show you a live example of a path. Again, this is a Wishup related example that I have set up as a manager. As Shashi must have shown you, there are two paths that you can set up. If this one is fulfilled, then what should happen? If the other one is fulfilled, then what should happen? Now, in the first path, I put if a subject matches salary slip. Now, we get salary slips as much as any organization sends, and the subject line matches that. So, again, I'll just quickly send a test and attach a salary slip. Mention the word salary slip because that's what I mentioned, and I've just clicked it on send. So what was the automation that I set up? If the subject, and in the email I have mentioned that it needs to come from HR. So if that matches the word salary slip, then it should upload a file in my G drive. And I've specified the drive. There's a folder called salary folder in my G drive that should go and settle there. So that's the automation that I've set up. Let's see if that works. And then again, if I get an email from HR, the second path is usually HR tends to send notices or some new announcement too. So I've used the word notice. Then I should get a direct message on Slack. I can also send that. Let's send notice test. Okay. Now while it's running, I want to go through some interesting things as a sort of a summary. Now, how does these automations work in the real life world or when you're working with your clients in your organizations, in your departments? You need to first find the problem that you're having. As in, you need to find the problem statement. What do you want to automate? Where do you want to reduce your time? Where do you want to have better efficiency and productivity? So find out that problem. Then find the apps that need to talk with each other, set up the triggers and the actions, and then make sure that the data is extracted from the right place and sent to the right place. Imagine if it's not extracted from the right person and sent it to some other person. So that would be a big blunder and a big violation of data privacy as well. So make sure that the extraction is done from the right place and sent to the right place. When you start working with your clients or when you start with a new company, your goal is to make your client's life easier, or your job easier, and of course to impress them. So find out such avenues or opportunities where you have repeated tasks, boring tasks, mundane tasks, or simple things like uploading and saving and cloud storage, or let's say some notifications. These are the tasks that you need to identify and set up Zaps. Now, 3 years ago when I started working for uh, in the training department, I have set up 7 different types of Wishup related Zaps that work for me. So you should identify such Zaps with your clients as well, and you should set that up. Let's quickly see if I've gotten an email. There you go. I got notice from HR, urgent email, urgent email. And let's see if I have received, see, salary slip has already been uploaded. So the automations have worked. Yeah. Going back to what I was talking about, a lot of people actually talk to me about the different alternatives to Zapier. Now, obviously, Zapier is not the only automation software. It's just been there for a very long time. I have started using Microsoft Power Automate. It's a free software provided you buy the Microsoft 365 package. So it's there here, Microsoft Power Automate. And this is how it looks like. Pretty much the same as what Zapier does. It has the same templates, same workflows. But again, it's just a different platform provided by Microsoft. I love working on it. It is, I find it, I don't know, the interface is much more useful. The other one that I would recommend is IFTTT for your personal automation, personal life automation. It has some interesting zaps and automations like automatically unmute your Android when you get back home. I even did that when a celebrity tweets or posts an Instagram reel, then I should get a message, and I think a lot of people know which celebrity that I'm talking about. So this is something that I love. If then, I don't know the full form, but it's like if then TTT something. Um, The paid ones that I would suggest is Tray.io and Zoho Flow Builder. Yeah. Let's now talk about the last part, which is the AI part. Now, Shashi will go through a little bit of AI, but before that, now Zapier, because it has come up with so much of funding in the last 2-3 years, they have come up with Zapier Central. They have come up with their custom chatbots, AI templates, Canvas feature, which is in the beta stage, and also Zapier Wizard skills. So there are 5 or 6 AI components, built-in AI features that they have come up with. Let's first quickly go through Zapier Central. Now, this is just a helping feature that helps you when you're new with Zaps. It works on the principle of behavior and where to feed your data from. So for lead qualification, you need to know what kind of behavior needs to happen and where the data needs to be uploaded from. Same with email management, same with customer queries, or whatever you're working on. Log on to their central.zapier.com and click on behavior, create a behavior, as in you just give a prompt. When I receive an email from sales@wishup.co, save the attachment. And so when you hit enter, what it does is, this is one of the several AIs that we are talking about. So Shashi will show you one more type of AI built in into Zapier, and I'll show you another one. This is just one of the several AI features. So what it has done, it has given me suggested triggers. And this is the one that I'll be using. But if you don't want to use that one, you can browse through some more. And also it will suggest you the actions. Yeah, so that's what the Zapier Central feature does. The second thing is the custom chatbots, which is in beta stage. Now, once it goes into the alpha stage and goes live, it will actually help you in setting up AI chat for businesses, AI chat for customer service, AI chat for lead generation. So, you know how every website has a chatbot window on the right hand side? That is what it's creating. It's a very good feature once they release the entirety of it. and it's located somewhere over here. So if you go to your home screen, there you go, chatbots in beta stage, Canvas in beta stage. Before that, let's go through AI templates. These are the simple level 1 or 2 templates that most of us use. So if you want to go through they have got a pretty decent library. Yeah. So that's the third AI feature. Then let me show you something called Canvas. Again, in the beta stage, which they should be releasing anytime soon, it is nothing but a visual representation in the form of a flowchart of your entire automation. So as you can see, it goes from here. It shows you in a visual, as much as people love flowcharts, and if you've been used to accustomed to using flowcharts, then this is what you need to look at while creating your automation. I also wanted to show something called tables and interfaces, which is useful when not sure. I don't want to demonstrate it here, but it's useful for if you're doing some kind of lead generation or sales for your company. What table does is it accumulates, stores, and sends in automatic leads, captures automatic leads without when you run that zap, and it assembles all of those leads at one incoming place. That's what table is used for. Interfaces is used when you're embedding some jot forms or any forms landing pages. That's when it's helpful. Now it won't make sense right now, but it's I'm just telling you these are the 2 features that they've come up for people who do lead generation and sales. Let's look at the last one, which is called as Zapier Wizard Guild. Now, what this is, of course, you have to register for it. It is like a knowledge base or a library where you can talk to others and share your information. It's just like what Reddit does. So this is Zapier's inbuilt Reddit or a knowledge base or a chat platform to chat with each other. Yeah. Before I move on and pass it on to uh, Shashi for an exciting AI feature that they've come up with, I wanted to talk about the live webinar series that you see here. So they come up with different workshops, I would say once in at least 3 months. The next one is scheduled on May 8th and May 14th, and they will be teaching AI. They've been teaching AI all throughout the year. This is where me and Shashi have learned all these features. And when you go to their sessions, they actually give you some free trials for 3 days as well. And that's when, as you can see, I took a 7-day free trial. Of course, I had to put my credit card and all of that, but I can get to use all their features. And in the last 3-4 days, I've learned, I've put up level 4, level 5 apps as well, which is not possible on a free account. I would suggest you to attend these sessions, register for such sessions, which are ongoing and quite regular, and also practice on it. Okay. Yes. All right. I think that's about it from my end. I'll again pass it on to Shashi, who will be showing you the last AI feature with Zapier that they've integrated. Now, this is what I like the most. I hope that you also love the same feature. Over to you, Shashi.
Okay, a minute. Okay, so the feature that we're going to discuss today is, and the last one, we've saved the best for the last, is Zapier AI, right? Uh, my entire time at Wishup has been, kind of guiding people on Zapier, making their fear of, automation and, that busting the myths that it's all complicated, it's all coding and everything go away, right? And Zapier AI is helping me do exactly that, right? So I'll just give you a small demo first, right? This is Zapier home screen. You just need to go to create a news app, right? Once it pulls up, you'll see there's one section over here, but what we're actually looking for is the Copilot, which is on the left hand bottom, right? So Let me just put in a command. Make a Zap to send me a reminder on Slack 15 minutes before a meet starts on my calendar, right? And let me just give it. Okay. So now what Copilot is going to do is it's going to give me a blueprint of this thing, right? Now, let's say what's the difference between this and the library that they have, right? The library is going to have the blueprint for some very popular ones, right? But what this does is it gives you a customized blueprint. So if you see, I just need to click on add all steps to Zap and it's here, right? Now, what I need to do is the same thing that we've been talking about, connect my calendar, work on the triggers, set up the delay by minutes, and again, connect my Slack account, map all the actions, the message, the title, and everything, and then my Zap is ready to go. So if you see, uh, if I create this from scratch, it's going to take me approximately, 10 minutes or so, including the testing and everything. But here, as soon as I filled in my command and I hit enter, within next 20 seconds, this is already here. Everything is done for you here. You just need to map it and go straight up into testing. So if we consider this live demo of using this, within 5 minutes, I can have my Zap up and running, right? This is what the Copilot feature does for us on Zapier. Now, I think it's a game-changing feature because, there is no limit to what command you give it. You can have multiple zaps, multiple apps connected. You can give it multiple commands, and when it's giving the zaps, let's say there were 3 steps, I only need 2, so I can just click on add these 2 steps, right? So this opens up a huge possibility of making our work even quicker with Zapier. So now, why is Copilot better than going on Chat GPT and getting the zap sorted? So when you go on Chat GPT, it guides you, it gives you step by step, but it does not make these triggers, actions, delays. It does not put filters and paths for you. What this does is it gives, not only does it give you these cards, right, the action, trigger, and the delay, but it also arranges it in a chronological order so that your goal is achieved, right? That is the main thing of Zapier Copilot. It's saving us a lot of time in thinking how do we need to map the steps and everything. All our time is just spent on mapping the data and testing, which makes it even more fun, right? Apart from the Zapier AI that we have, there's one more thing which a lot of people miss out. That's what I've seen. Is, let's say even after this, I'm not able to achieve my task, right? What next? If you see, there's this blue bar over here. When I click on it, I can get help, right? Send us a message. So here you have a Zapier VA for you, where you can search for community. You can click on need support, and if somebody from the support system is going to get on a chat with you. They're going to look at the problem. Of course, when let them access your account, they're going to look at your Zap. They're going to also teach you, in future how you can make this particular Zap, or what was the error, why was the error occurred, right? So all these support features and AI features make Zapier, my favorite tool to automate everything that I do. And the main difference between the pre-AI Zapier and post-AI Zapier is now you don't have to spend time searching things on Google, searching things on blogs, reading Reddit comments and everything. You have everything in one place. You have the Copilot, you have the AI capabilities of Zapier and the help section, right? So that makes it super easy for you to work on it. And so yeah, I mean, with this we end the session here. I hope this was able to the session was able to help you. It was able to get that fear out of you, and I'm just looking forward to questions that you guys might have. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I mean, one point that you mentioned, which is quite correct, is because we've been using Zapier for 3 years. I was just thinking about the pre-AI Zapier and post-AI Zapier. Now you don't have to navigate out of this software at all. You have
Yeah.
Copilot here, you have AI built in here, you have instructions, you have Zapier Central, you have templates. I mean, everything can be done by staying in just that one platform. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I've seen a lot of my team members coming up to me and saying, these things were very confusing for them at start, but recently with the AI, even with chat gpt, things have become easier. I see a lot of people coming to us, I mean to me or the VA managers, with solutions already. So, the AI boom has enabled everybody to realize the true potential of Zapier, and it's being used a lot. And, the recent trend also tells me that a lot of clients who are working with us, they're using it to the full extent. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great tool. Definitely made for, automation and save a lot of time when you're running a business.
Correct. I mean, I just saw that they have almost 6,000 apps integrated. That's like way too many.
Yeah.
So that makes it quite favorite. And I decided, I was talking about how I was using Microsoft Power Automate. Uh, Although I like that, it's a good interface, but somehow I came back to Zapier. So there you
Yeah,
go.
definitely. I mean, along with the 6,000 apps that you have, Zapier also has the ability to work with APIs and webhooks. So let's say it's very rare that you don't find an app on Zapier, but let's say if it's not there, you can definitely connect it. And again, for that you have Zapier AI, or you can just get help from the customer service section. They'll just walk you through how to connect APIs, how to work with webhooks and set up everything. Yeah.
Oh, Jatin has a question. What are
Yeah.
some of the constraints of the basic version of Zapier? I think he's probably talking about the free account. Do you
Yeah, I
wanna?
think the main one is that it just lets you design a one level Zap, right? And
Yeah.
it's also going to be a bit tricky to use the filters, paths, and ifs. So with the free version, you can make 5 Zaps and they can run for 100 times in a month. So that's a limitation with free. But once you buy the subscription, it's definitely going to open a new world for you.
Yeah, correct. When they always had the paths, filters, delay, table, and formatting feature, but then they were all paid features
Yeah,
about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And now I think due to the advent of AI, they somehow made it into the free feature. But as you said, they do have limitations. Do we have any other question? I guess you know, people won't have questions at this stage because this is like maths. You have to practice and then you'll come up with doubts. The more you practice, the more you'll get acquainted with uh, how the automation flows. Once you're good with level one, you do level two, then you insert level three as well. That's how you keep increasing your caliber.
exactly.
Let's just
And
wait for.
it's easy, guys. It's easy with everything, the AI and everything. I mean, I remember 3 years ago when I started, working on Zapier, there was no AI, there was no ChatGPT. So a lot of time was spent on, searching on Google and reading blogs on Zapier and everything. So now when I look at the capabilities that we have, the technological advancement that we have, it's just great. It's really easy to learn. You have a very extensive library on YouTube and other websites. So I mean, it's just going to get easier going forward. Yeah. Okay,
That's
I think Jatin has a question. What's the most complicated Zap you did? If you could share the trigger and action. Okay. I mean, it was a multi-level Zap wherein I had to connect the ClickUp information that comes on. So we had a form which was through ClickUp. So every time somebody submits the form, the first action was to get everything captured on ClickUp. The second option was to put it on a proprietary software that the client used, and the third software was on that proprietary software. I had to move the client. I mean, I had to make a client card and move it to sales thing. So that is where I used webhooks, and I took extensive help from their customer service section. So whatever I'm posting about the customer service section of Zapier, it's like an amazing thing. I mean, I've experienced it. They are super helpful.
Yeah. Siddharth has a question. I've noticed
Yeah.
that sometimes automations have a delay from when a message is received at step one to step three, which could be Slack. It
Mhm.
appears late. Any reason why this happens and how to avoid? Yes, well, I have had this apprehension and I've kept pondering why does it take so much time? And finally, I think I chatted with the customer service probably a couple of years ago, and they did mention that there is a 10-second to at least, I would say, 1 to 2 minute delay. And I've seen that myself. And I don't know the reason. They haven't provided me a reason, but it happens with most of the automations. You will not get it instantaneously. It's not like, you test it there and you receive it here. There will be a delay.
So I have a very interesting insider info, right? That time when I was working with webhooks and API and I was connected with the customer service, I did put this same question to them. They said these delay happen a lot on the free version, right? Because the free version does not just fire the app just like that, right? It takes the free version delays can actually go up to between 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Exactly what Siddharth has mentioned. On the free version, it might take 10 to 15 minutes, right? But once you buy the pro version, or you buy a couple of zaps, you unlock the limit, it's going to happen instantaneously.
Is
But
that a
again, at that
simple?
point also, if there are so too many steps and there are too many filters, it's going to take a couple of minutes to actually, reflect.
I guess that's their way of making you buy the premium version.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending the session. I think let's wrap it up if you don't have any questions. Guys, don't feel that, this is the end of the session. You can't ask any more questions. You can always comment it here. We also have our platforms where you can, message us, mail us if you have any more questions. Do practice on these apps, and I would say, utilize the new features that they're coming up with, especially the ones in beta stage, the chatbots and the Canvas feature. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up, Shashi.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. So thank you so much, guys, for attending. And feel free to get in touch with us if you have any questions or any help that you need with Zapier. We're always here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Thank you, guys.